This video was made possible by the EA Creator Network and was captured on a work-in-progress build. Remember when the Florida Gators were a football powerhouse? Urban Meyer, Tim Tebow, Percy Harvin, The Promise, 41-14 over Ohio State. Man, those were the good days. It's been a long time since the Gators were relevant in the college football world. And you know what? Today, we're going to change that. It's time for a new era in Gainesville. It's time to bring back the glory days. It's Tebow time. What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel. And today, I'm very excited to bring you guys our first College Football 26 Dynasty Rebuild. You know we had to take control of the GOAT, bring Tebow back, take over for Billy Napier, and make the Florida Gators a serious football program again. I got a little emotional recording that little intro there. Nostalgia is a hell of a thing here for the Gators. We used to be so good. What happened, man? But that's what we're doing, man. We got to shock the college football world, flip it on its head, go against the norm, and bring Tim Tebow in. And when you take a look at this Florida Gators roster, I think that the challenge of just how insane their schedule was last year is going to have this group that much more competitive and ready to go this season because we have the man, DJ Lagway, under center, the five-star sophomore, 6'3", 241 pounds, 98 throw power, the biggest arm in college football 26. No other player has more throw power. We have, honestly, to be fair, not the greatest role of skill cap. Still room to grow from an IQ standpoint. Still room to grow in both elusiveness and quickness to bump up his athleticism a little bit. We got that 88 speed, 91 acceleration, good agility, good break sack. I'd say probably the only thing that's a little bit of a bummer with DJ Lagway is we only have 2 available spots for accuracy. That may get us to consider when we are spending our points to level up Tim Tebow to maybe get the chance to level up and get rid of a skill cap when a player levels up, which is all the way down in tier 3 of architect, which, I mean, it's going to take a minute to get that. We got to win the 4 rivalry games. It's going to take us a couple seasons. Probably not going to be overly beneficial for DJ Lagway, but as is outstanding quarterback. But there's a worry with DJ Lagway. His deal breaker of playing style is currently a D grade. As it stands right now, if we do not improve that, he 100% is hitting the transfer portal this offseason. So for DJ Lagway and his dual threat archetype, the only way that we can improve our playing style is to go for 270 yards through the air per game. We have plenty of players right now across the board on offense and defense that are not loving the current vibe of the play style. That's what happens when you're coming off a disappointing season, all things considered, for the Florida Gators. If we're trying to get back to that standard of where they were during the Tebow, Percy Harvin, Urban Meyer years. So we're going to need to hit the ground running. We're going to have, that's why this rebuild's a little bit challenging, right? It's not necessarily I'm taking over a 1-star program. Recruiting's going to be hard. Let's work and build it up. I'm taking over a program with very high expectations that has not been particularly good. And even though I have a great starting point, all things considered, this is still only a 4-star team that needs to be and deserves to be historically and where we need to get back to a 5-star program. And we have so many players that we're inheriting that are already very upset with the program. So we don't have the luxury of kind of that long grind to start from here and work all your way up to the tippity top. We have got to find a way to be successful right away, or else we're going to be at risk of losing. Just looking at this, DJ Lagway, franchise quarterback. We got Cameron James. We got LJ McCray, the former 5-star. We have Miles Graham, legacy player there, best linebacker, most upside linebacker on the roster. So we have got to hit the ground running here with Tim Tebow and the Florida Gators. Because if we do lose DJ Lagway somehow, I don't even want to acknowledge that could possibly happen. Our quarterback room is not the best. There is significant drop-off. Lagway is, as it stands, the future of the Florida Gators for this year, for next year, and hopefully we can find a way to keep him till his senior campaign. I will say, as it goes to recruiting, you would look at DJ Lagway, normally look at this depth chart at quarterback. You're like, you probably don't need to invest heavily in quarterback. I think that's going to be our best chance, though, for like an insurance policy. I think we try and find a quarterback that we really like as a recruit in case no matter what we do, we can't convince DJ Lagway to stay. Into the backfield, we have a lot of different depth pieces that are pretty nice. Jaden Ball, the sophomore, 86 overall, is going to lead the line. Luckily, we have a great deal breaker there for the 3-star. Brings a lot of power, has relatively decent skill caps available. You make the argument he's one of the best power backs in the nation. He's the smash. We got the dash here in freshman KD Daniels, the former 4-star with a star dev trait. Now, again, there are dynamic dev traits, so regardless if you see the dev traits, I think DJ Lagway probably should be a little bit higher. If we play and perform well, our players have a chance to go up dev trait here in College Football 26. Very similar to Madden, whereas in College Football 25, whatever your dev trait was, just kind of is what it is. We're also, and I might as well just highlight this, I have manual progression turned on. Last year in College Football 25, the only option was for the CPU to handle your player development, which for someone like myself that likes to be hands-on in a rebuild, I think most people would prefer to like control how you want to upgrade a player. Now there is elements, and I would say how I'd view KD Daniels here. I'm absolutely going to pump all of my points into quickness until we hit that skill cap, as he is the fastest running back on our team. There is maybe levels of self-restraint that you may need to employ if you want to turn off the automatic progression because, you know, especially if you're in like a multi-user league, you're going to need to be aware of the fact that you may have people that just want to cheese and constantly are just throwing all their points into speed, and then you end up with a league full of max speed players. But let's just show a little bit of self-restraint. I think we can do it. One of my favorite things about Florida Gators in College Football 25, that carries over to College Football 26. We got speed at wide receiver. TJ Abrams with 93 speed, 94 acceleration. Tank Hawkins with 97 speed, 96 acceleration. Aiden Mizell with 96 speed, 97 acceleration. And in the case of Mizell, we already have an outstanding starting point of a star dev trait with some relatively nice skill caps. Maybe the route running could be a little better. He's ultimately likely going to just be a one-dimensional deep threat, but we have a lot of room to grow there for his hands, and we could still make him that much faster. We have two very talented freshman wide receivers. We have Dallas Wilson, 6'3", 4-star out of Tampa, Florida, with the star dev. And he looks very well-rounded with relatively decent skill caps. Pernell Brown, who, depending on the site you're looking at, was a fringe 5, if not 4-star. Also, relatively good skill caps, maybe a little harsh there on the route running. The very nice height, weight, speed transfer from UCLA, J. Michael Sturdivant. And the premier wide receiver on our roster is Trey Wilson III. Don't have to worry about the deal breaker. We are in good standing there for the star dev, and he is absolutely insane. Now he has 88 catching already, but only 2 available upgrades for hands. I mean, that is a lot of... I think that's very harsh for how talented of a wide receiver he is to only be able to go up a couple more points for his hands. His route running, though, we still have a lot of room for improvement. Same for elusiveness, couple spots there, a couple spots for IQ. But Trey Wilson, one of the most underrated wide receivers in college football. If you don't know, you're about to know this season. Tight end room, nothing special. It's definitely an area of concern. We have Amir Jackson, the redshirt freshman, probably offers the most upside on our roster with that star dev trait. Also possesses some, 83 catching for a freshman is nice. Also has a little bit of juice there with the 83 speed, 91 acceleration. Still very annoying, though. As a true freshman, we are already at his max skill cap for quickness. So that is as athletic as he'll get. Unless we get some, boosts from our coaching staff. The offensive line's in a relatively good position. Maybe not ideal depth for SEC level play, but our starters are great. We got Austin Barber, 89 at left guard. We got Nia Harris, 82 at center. We have the best center in college football in Jake Slaughter. Keep an eye, man. This is going to be probably the first center selected in next year's draft class. Very happy that he decided to return to Florida. Could have declared and probably would have been in the discussion for one of the top centers in last year, the 2025 NFL draft. We actually have surprisingly great depth at center, which is a thing of beauty. Right guard's not brutal with Damian George, 82, but we have double seniors there. The gigantic Cameron Waits at 6'8", 370. So guard is definitely a position we're going to want to prioritize for this first recruiting class. We got Lovett, Manuel, Pitts. Right tackle's not looking great. Definitely an area we also want to improve. The O-line is going to get some TLC for this first recruiting class. And our defense is actually a higher rated than our offense, which I'd say is a little surprised by that. I think the offensive line's probably hurting the offense just a little bit. But we have a 91 overall defense, led by Tyreek Sapp, 92 overall. Cameron James, we got Wiggins as upside freshman. On the right-hand side, we got Gums, we got L.J. McCray, Jaden Woods, and Asari, who is a transfer, UMass, I believe. And with all due respect, I think the belle of the ball for our pass rush is a guy that I'm expecting to, at some point in time, potentially challenge, oh my God, normal dev on the former 5-star L.J. McCray. Now, it is work in progress, build, early release. There's a chance that some of these things could change. But if not, oh my God. My heart stoppers. What is that about? Come on. Inside of D-tackle, we have pretty solid depth across the board. And much like Trey Wilson, if you're not a Gator fan, Caleb Banks is a special talent. Absolutely ridiculous that he's only an impact dev trade. I think he has the potential, if he plays and kind of takes the next step from where he was last year, to be a first rounder in the 2026 NFL draft class. We have really, really nice skill caps as well across the board. But he's a senior. There's not really a huge ceiling for him to grow and develop, but I think as an impact playmaker for us, year one of this rebuild, we're going to need to rely on him to be a big-time playmaker for us. Our linebacking core is certainly not a strength and certainly the weak point of this 91 overall defense. We got Grayson Howard, who's pretty solid. We have Miles Graham and Aaron Giles, who need to step up, and we're obviously going to have probably a combo of those three starting. See what Miles Graham has. He was a big-time recruit. Ooh, so the dev trait looks good, but much like DJ Lagway, as we saw, deal breaker. We are going to have to improve the playing style here for easily our most upside linebacker on the roster. So it looks like we're going to have to get him as an outside linebacker, signal caller archetype, 90 total tackles to improve his desire to stay with the program. Kind of out of my hands, but I mean, should be able to hit it. He's going to be our primary linebacker this season. Our corner room also is not that crazy, to be honest with you. You got Devin Moore, Deion Johnson, Caraway, Hanks, Cormani McLean, who, former 5-star recruit, thought he might pull a better rating than a 75, but he does have an elite development trait, and the deal breaker's not of a concern, so we might actually have a chance, and a great chance, especially 75. I don't think he's going to be declaring early to hit. Oh my God. And then there's the balancing act. The skill caps are rough. I mean, still a huge way that we can grow and develop him as a zone corner. We can bump up his hands a little bit, his quickness a little bit. We can max that out from an athletic standpoint. But I'm seeing right now our linebacking room and our corner room going to need some TLC on the recruiting cycle as well, not just all in on the O-line. Finishing up the roster preview here with the safeties, solid, but definitely not a strength of the team. Probably Thornton could have had a higher rating than 77. We have Jordan Castile, who is definitely the best safety on this roster. Hopefully we can get 2 years out of him, and he doesn't want to declare right away. We can get to his senior season, but I think, honestly, got to group in just the DB room as a whole, not just the corners, are a position that we should try and prioritize during this first recruiting class. Our special teams are on point. Trey Smack and Tommy Doman are some of the best in their position at SEC level. One thing I just failed to mention that I think is huge. It was one of the few things that I was very adamant about and tried to make my voice heard as much as a EA influencer can. As you can see now, you don't have to click into every single player to see what their dev trait is. It shows up on the player card right there. So you could just see, you have the star, you see the elite dev trait on Cormani McLean. The less amount of clicking in menus from a roster management standpoint that we can get, it's always going to be improvement. So this is an outstanding quality of life improvement. Another change you're going to notice right away is your depth chart. You should know already, like you can tell when we went for the preview, that there's like Mike, Will, Sam. But when you're setting up and fine-tuning your depth chart, outside of being able to change your third down, power, slot, your pass rush set, your sub linebacker, you also now can control your nose tackle, which we're going to make Caleb Banks, and your gadget player, which, very similar to real life, we're going to make it Trey Wilson. So our first upgrade for Tim Tebow, we're going to go right into, what is our biggest position in need? I think we're going to want to take a look here at either linebacker. You know what? Our corner room's probably, overall DBs need the TLC. So we'll start by working our way here. But as we earn XP throughout this first season, our plan is at minimum to work our way to getting 3 out of 4 on everything outside of specialist in this first recruiter tier. For Florida, a little bit bigger program. Expectations are that we're going to have a fairly generous board, but I'm not going to, you know, it's still year one. It's not like I'm 10, 15 rebuilds in, that I'm in an absolute Zen mode to dominate the recruit. Let's make it as easy on ourselves as we possibly can. We do have a lot of 5-star recruits that are initially interested, but we need to kind of fill our board. I want a quarterback. So we do have Rasheem Woods here. Out of Florida, 5-star. We're in his top 5, so let's kind of prioritize that. I'm not overly concerned with adding a running back, but we have Dennis Beebe. Yeah, but look at this one. Jimmy Diamond, an athlete, so we get a little positional versatility there. Has him #1 school for a 5-star. So let's go. That could be a potential layup. And I mentioned in like my other video breakdowns, again, don't know necessarily what order all these videos are getting uploaded in. Your team needs at the top here of recruiting. I don't want to say they're just suggestions, but it's kind of like based off of like what you are losing. So like right now when you look at this, it's like, all right, based off of positional minimums and the seniors that are going to be leaving, like, hey, 2 quarterbacks would be smart to get. 1 tackle, 1 tight end, 5 guards, 3 edge rushers. This is not necessarily giving you what your requirements are going to be for the upcoming season. It's not like if I don't get 2 quarterback targets, I'm not going to have and be able to field the team because I absolutely screwed up my depth chart. So it's not a rule that you should follow your team needs, but I think the best way to kind of view it is it gives you a suggestion of what positions you should go after. And when you have like guard where you need 5 and edge rushers where you need 3, you know, hey, it might be worth adding 1 or 2 players there for sure. Would not ignore these team needs outright. Wide receiver, wouldn't mind adding maybe a wide receiver or 2. We got Heckendorf from Georgia, looks decent. Davis at #5. We have LaRue at #1. We got Van Lanen and Connors. Top 5, so let's just, again, cast a wide net here, and we'll have our recruiting do the heavy lifting, kind of refine our board a little bit. Don't really want many more than a dozen or so prospects for this first year 1 class. O-line needs a little help, so we'll grab a tackle or 2 at guard. What do we got? We got Hainsey, top 5. We got Ruggins, #1. Could go Kumar at 4. We'll come back to that potentially. It's a PA pipeline, so it's a little bit on the outside looking in there. Pass rush, we got Howard, who's a 4-star. Hodgins at #5. Azuma at #2. Walker at #2. Probably only really want to look at bringing in 2 edge rushers there. So that gives us a couple different opportunities there. Swing for the fences and see if our scouting yields a gem or a stud. For the linebackers, I mean, let's just, again, I'm all about taking some layups here. We have #1 school for Slayton, #2 school for Avant. Both great pipelines at Mike. We have Stack, a 4-star, as our #1. We also take a look at Cobb, the athlete out of Florida in the secondary. What do we got? We got a 5-star at Arnett, a 5-star in Turbin, but we're #3. Better pipeline. You also have Prochet at 7. Maybe just from a pure scouting standpoint, let's see what we got there. We also have Northrop there as his #1 school. Into the safeties. Got a 6. Down here, Stewart, #4, better pipeline. And at strong safety, let's take a look at Hesse. I think we were blessed with a very nice budget, so I am going to be able, for this initial recruiting board, to fully scout every single player. And hopefully we can find, I mean, these are very good talents. Most of these players are top, 300 players, in the 200s. So I'm expecting a couple gems, a couple studs. Unfortunately, with the safeties, didn't really find much. I would like to just target 1 safety. So Roger Stewart, unfortunately, you are not making the cut. How about our secondary? We got Northrop, who has this as his #1 school. There's a chance it'd be real cool for one of these players that has as a #1 to get the instant commit, but it's year 1. Those are lofty expectations. But we got Tebow. Tebow, 100% would get some instant commits. Northrop has some great speed here, which I love to see. Let's take a look at these 2 5-stars. Max Prochet, 85 speed on a 5-star. One thing I have noticed in my time is that there are, generally speaking, very slow players across the board in comparison. So we're getting rid of Prochet. I think Turbin would be a pretty fun player to go target. 95 speed, 96 acceleration, 90 change of direction, 93 agility, 79 press, 77 man. I'm all about it. Our linebacking room is another area that I really wanted to try to improve. Don't want to stretch ourselves too thin here with our recruiting hours. Cobb is a great athlete. We have Ladarius Stack, who have #1 school. There we go, our first gem. I think I would like at least 2 linebackers, maybe 3. We got Avant here, only 80 speed. I can tell you right now, no thank you. We have Slayton, 4-star. Top 10 in his position. Number 1 school he wants to go to is Florida. We could probably keep that. And something to pay attention to, just from when we go from this preseason stage into week 1, I think a added challenge, if you will, is in College Football 25. If you were, for example, I got 1st for Stack, 2nd for Cobb, 3rd for Turbin, 1st for Northrop, 2nd for Hess. When in College Football 25, I offer all these guys scholarships. At worst, I'm going to be this exact position. At best, and usually, I now would move up to the number 1 school. I have found in College Football 26, just remember, okay, 2nd, 1st, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, so it's a good mix. You lose 1st place a lot of the times. Let's take a look at some of these guys on the offensive side of the ball. Rasheem Woods, 5-star quarterback. We're within his top 5. Don't necessarily need a 5-star quarterback, but again, we always have that risk of DJ Lagway hitting the transfer portal, and if we could have an insurance policy of the number 4 quarterback in the nation who looks pretty decent, 92 throw power, accuracies are fine outside of that deep ball of 68, athletically speaking, not brutal, maybe a little bit on the low end for a dual threat, but I'm not seeing enough to scare me off. We have the 5-star Jimmy Diamond, who we have as his number 1 school. What kind of athlete we got here? What kind of playmaker are you? I think he can play a little bit of everything. Good athleticism, almost the same as far as carry and catching. So he's definitely one of those players that's kind of going into that gadget mold where he's going to be positionless. And you know what? We got to get those back in the building. We got to get another Percy Harvin 2.0. That could be Jimmy Diamond. I kind of shared this in my tips and tricks video, but I'll sneak it in here a little bit. A good idea, you can pair it on top of your scouting and recruiting, is look at playing time grade. Playing time grade gives you an idea of where that recruit's rating is in relation to your current roster. So, like, I don't necessarily need any wide receiver, especially with the fact that, like, the 5-star Diamond, who I want to go chase after, could absolutely just kind of be that gadget wide receiver role. So I have Heckendorf, Davis, and LaRue. Look at the playing time. LaRue, D+. We got C- on Davis, D+ on Heckendorf, which, ergo, without actually spending the hours for recruiting, Davis is likely, well, not likely, he's going to have the highest rating out of these 3 players. Now, the discrepancy between like D+, and C-, he could be 73 overall, and these guys could be 72 or 71. It's not a gigantic gap, plus it is in relation to our wide receiver room right now, which is in a pretty good spot. But I think because I do kind of want to shave some points off here, I mean, let's see if we got any gems. Okay, 86 speed. Even though you're number 1 interest, no thank you. What do you have for Paul Davis? Again, man, I will say from the dynasties that I have been playing, seems like speed's a little more rare to find. Like that prolific speed. What do we got? Heckendorf. Ooh, look at the abilities. Look at the route running and stuff. So we know Davis has the best rating. For some reason, I don't know if that's a visual bug, it has throw power included. He's not an athlete. So that's wild. I wonder if that maybe means, should that be jumping? But look at Heckendorf. Not, slow as all means. 86 speed, 85 accelerated. He has 82 catching, 81 catch in traffic, 88 spec, 82 short, 87 medium, 81 deep. Like, that is some of the best route running I've seen in a minute. You know what? I'm going to go against what I usually do, and I want to value a guy that might just be an absolute technician out there running routes, getting open for DJ Lagway, because we are not losing him in the transfer portal. I said remember the rankings, because in last year's game, you rarely would lose positioning from preseason to both. And look at this. So we've gone down on Northrop. We did go up on Turbin. We went down, 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 down. Again, it is what it is. I think the right type of increase to challenge of scouting. And now it's going to be on us with our board of 14 targets. Probably in a perfect world, how many hours we got? We got 800, which is outstanding. When we get to do like some cupcake rebuild stuff, when you're dealing with 350 hours, we're just in a different area code right now. But still a little bit like I'm not going to be able to 100% cheese this recruiting board as much as I like, but we should be able to make it work. I'll be shocked with my talents. I should be able to at least get 10 of these 14 players minimum, I think. It's a good lofty goal for year 1 at Tebow. Considering I have a 0 coach, no boosts, for recruiting. So we were able to send the house on every single player. We still have 100 hours remaining, which is good if we do decide to want to take advantage of the new and improved schedule visits, which, I mean, the biggest change is schedule visits in College Football 25 was a flat 40 hours across the board. Now you have something like localized visits where, because of how we prioritize this board and making pipeline, I would expect almost all of these players to be either 10 to 15 hours to bring in for a visit. So that could be a nice little deal breaker in our favor to get those extra hours in quick for these players and bring them in on early visits. But, you know, that's why this is meta. You know, 15, 16 targets minimum for these big programs, because I still think send the house and then hard sell when you can is the best way to recruit in College Football 26. Also, have done a recruiting guide and a recruiting coach build guide. Either that is already up or that will be up in the coming day or so. So make sure you check that one out. Now the schedule for our Florida Gators, a lot more forgiving than what it was a year ago, but still very difficult. Tennessee, Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas A&M, Texas, Miami, LSU. We get a couple games here early to get our beaks wet, but I mean, it's SEC football nowadays. I'm thinking, you know, I think we're better than LSU. I think we're better than Miami. I think we're better than A&M. I think we're competitive against Ole Miss and Tennessee. Like, the only games that outright Georgia and Texas are probably going to be pretty tough. But I'd say if we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 secondary big games, if we can go 4-1 in those matchups, 3-2 at minimum, we'll be looking in a pretty good spot. But ultimately, again, year one, let's just throw for 270 a game, get DJ Lagway nowhere near that deal breaker, and ensure he's our quarterback for at least another season. And after 1 week of flexing our send the house muscles, everybody is showing some green for the most part, which is awesome. Another nice quality of life feature that you're going to notice right away in your recruiting is like when you could do something different in the recruiting stage. It's not just a holding pattern when the players progress from their top 8 to their top 5. You're going to get a notification here, as we can see with like Austin Cobb. It's like, oh, what is this? Go check it out. For recruiting, we now can have the decision to hard sell, soft sell, sway, or schedule for a visit. Following our meta, we are going to absolutely be going with the hard sell approach. So we're going to take off, send the house. We're going to go here. We're going to go DM the player so we can still have him maxed out at 50 because we have the budget to do so. And then we are going to find it. I still can't believe after all the hours that I sunk into last year's game that I feel like that's the final aspect of my evolution is I need to know right away which pitch based off of the deal breakers. But there we go. He wants star search. It works out very well for our school grades. Maybe not, you know, perfect. Brand exposure only B+. And how my Florida Gators have fallen. They were one of the best teams. Some of you young kids watching this, you've never known Florida being good. Start the season, we absolutely beat the brakes off FCS East and USF, where that wasn't always the case in College Football 25. College Football 25, there's almost felt like a 50-50 chance you would lose and slip up against some of the kind of gimme games on your schedule. We're about to go into an absolute gauntlet. LSU, Miami, get a little west. Texas, A&M. Again, let's see if we can go 4-1 in that stretch. All right, here we go, Death Valley. I think I want to hop on the sticks for that Texas game, especially if they're number 1. If Texas slips up and they're not number 1, we got Georgia. But let's just kind of, you know, see along firsthand, how does this LSU game go? First kind of gauntlet test, DJ Lagway against Nussmeier. I think 2 evenly matched teams, 2 teams that are struggling to refine their place in the new landscape of the SEC. And this is not looking particularly hot for our Florida Gators. 0 bomb. Defense is playing out of their minds. Oh, there we go. And then they get the insta score right off our first score.
Guys, if you
Dang.
go strictly by the rankings, I guess this was
Not gonna lie, kind of thought we'd win that one.
We saw 2 really good teams slug it out, and one of them came out on top.
Yeah, 2 really good teams, man. That's a reason why they're both ranked.
DJ, I mean, obviously, I would say, did DJ play well? No, our offense was terrible. Our defense kept us in that matchup. DJ, 156 yards, 1 touchdown, which is well off that 270 average that we need to hit. Jaden Baugh was, you know, respectful. But the defensive side, what do we got here? 1 sack by Tyreek Sapp, couple TFLs in the backfield, no turnovers. Not good enough to win on the road. 7 points, dude. And then as soon as we tied up at 7, they get the insta score. It's embarrassing. Things aren't going as well on the recruiting board either as we get locked out by Rasheem Woods. Not great. We're not in pole position for most of our players. We're in the hunt. We're second. Offensively, defensively, we're in a decent spot. A lot of firsts. Again, we had 14 targets or whatever it was. I said we'd get 10. So we're still on pace to do that. We have an epic matchup brewing in Florida at the U. 35-35 ball game. And we need DJ Lagway to get cooking here. There we go. Sturdivant, the UCLA transfer. Big grab. Fired off to the tight end. Jackson, break an ankle, and we are in. I mean, our defense has been terrible today. There is absolutely a shot with that little bit of time that the U can get into range. But this has exactly been what the Gators need to bounce back off a rough loss in Death Valley. DJ Lagway was outstanding. I think in every game outside that LSU loss, we've gone well over that 279-yard threshold that we need to get him to back off, leaning towards the transfer portal. What a win as we go into the bye week to heal up and get ready for Texas. And we land the first recruit of our cycle. I think we lost the 5-star diamond, the gadget player. I think it was close. It was kind of all or nothing this week or not. But Austin Cobb, thank you and congratulations on being the first Tim Tebow recruit. We also got Javon Northrup, the speedy corner, at a Pahokee, Florida. But as expected, we're still in for Diamond, the second school, but we do lose out on the tackle, our top tackle, to the U. Imagine deciding to go to U that week after we just smoked him. Now, the only thing I don't, the number one thing I love right now is for playing style. I'm not seeing DJ Lagway on that list right now. So we have him, even though we slipped up and we're not undefeated anymore. He's happy, which means I'm happy. There we go. Trey Wilson, SEC Offensive Player of the Week in that win over Miami with a $190 through the air and 3 tuds. We also get Heckendorf to commit, the elite route running wide receiver out of Georgia. But it's also the down news as we list out on the 5-star athlete and our top safety pick. Huge game this week off the bye. We're going to play the moments against the Texas Longhorns and see if we can shock the world. Win here completely almost erases the momentum lost that we had losing pretty embarrassingly against LSU on the road. Now this is the EA Sports Game of the Week. We're going to play the moments. Offense. Defense. When a moment is there, we're going to try to be great. And we're going to try and not. Let's let them have this first moment. Let's get a good vibe check of how we're playing. And we're able to get a beautiful opening drive score against undefeated Texas.
Just underway, and this home crowd is fired up.
Now, something that I'm going to try my best to get good at this year is the stunts on the defensive line. I think that's going to be an absolute game changer. But until we get to that point, once we get the full access of this game, I'm going to get right into a main channel long-form Dynasty series. And that is going to be where you want to go to see the trials and tribulations of C4 learning how to kind of be halfway decent at this game. Oh, brings him down. Jamari Lloyds with the sack. God, the just suffocation from the front four of the Florida Gators. Caleb Banks, big Caleb Banks. Double T doesn't matter. Nothing but backwards. Now, the best thing about DJ, we got that 98 throw power. No window is too small to fire it in and flex the arm talent. We got a chance, man. For our defense, we can keep it up at that level. It's going to be a long day for Arch Manning and the Longhorns. To the second half, looking good again. Another lengthy drive from the Gators into the red zone. We could not score in this exact same environment against LSU. Maybe, home field advantage is a thing. That's just too easy out the backfield. Tebow. The Tebow offense is thriving. I'm saying that's game, but It's looking kind of like, I mean, I don't want to punish myself by just simming out way out here, but I feel like we have enough of a lead that it's a respectful thing to be, you know, we're going to show enough respect to Texas that we're not going to try to pad the stats to get the DJ Lagway his 300-yard passing goal, and we're just going to take a convincing win over the previous undefeated #1 team in the nation. And at minimum, what we can leave this game with is year 1 of the Tebow era, the swamp. We're going to be going up those home field advantage rankings. It is going to be an absolute war every time the Gators have a home game. That was a big win for the Gators, but man, oh man, I got to be honest, our recruiting board, I think I might have been too lofty in saying that we were going to get, you know, 10. Like I'm already on to our second stage of players. A couple 4-stars will help round out the class, but like, at this rate, we definitely need to land Turbin the 5-star. That would be huge, right? He definitely would be the kind of the icing on the cake, but kind of getting the vibes that we're going to have to do our work in the transfer portal. So we've passed the first tough stretch of our schedule. We got trap games, Mississippi State, Kentucky, hell, even Florida State, who are 5-1 somehow this year. Absolute trap. Georgia, luckily, is no longer, you know, S tier as they've fallen down to the number 12 team in the nation, but still only 5-1. A lot of things can change before the dust settles, but, you know, through the first big hurdle of the season, outside of that game against LSU, which was incredibly close, 7-7 with like 2 minutes to go. I mean, a hell of a start for the Gators. And finally, took a little bit longer than expected, we get the 5-star Paul Turbin out of Fort Myers. The number 3 player in the nation, expectations. Like he could, I mean, 80s, low 80s. I think winning this game, we'll go on and at least play in the playoffs. If we lose this game, we might be playing in a fancy bowl game. This is going to be the decider. If we can beat Georgia in the sim, sky's the limit. If we struggle, we are very much still in that stage of missing a couple more pieces before we're legit. Also, passing yards have dried up a little bit. DJ Lagway has returned into the threatening to transfer, so we need to start winning through the air. Now against some of these smaller school opponents, we have had DJ Lagway go for 300, 400 yards. It's in the wheelhouse. However, these tough SEC games, he's been going well under 200. So it's like the averages are kind of breaking even. Would be nice to see an offensive aerial attack here in the Florida-Georgia game. See how it goes. Open and drive score, Florida. It's going to be close. Georgia tied up. Great long methodical drive. Again, you know, you probably want to see the quick scores, and ergo being like shot plays from DJ Lagway, but hell of a performance so far through 3 quarters. 10-point lead going into the 4th, and there we go. We let them score 10 points in the matter of like 5 minutes. It is a 1-score game with all the momentum with the Georgia Bulldogs. We have 2 minutes to go win it, and we just decide to kill the game off and win it regardless. Let's go. Maybe even more so than that Texas win, the first big signature win for DJ Lagway as the starting quarterback of the Florida Gators. Now, I hate to be, everything has a and to it and just be happy that we beat them, but how many passing yards did we get? Did we get the 270 that he is looking for? We got 220. Just, I mean, not bad. Very difficult to do against Georgia, but we're going to have to pick up the passing offense here to close the season out. Because as you see, DJ Lagway has worked his way up to the top of the playing style transfer, which is very annoying because we also have KD Daniels, the speedy running back that I do not want to lose. But that's really, I decided not to do a cupcake team for my first rebuild. I want to do my Florida Gators, and what happens when you're the Florida Gators and you're these big programs is the portal is absolutely ruthless. But we absolutely need to lock in with Lagway. He cannot transfer. Following the Georgia win, we handle business pretty explosively against Kentucky and Ole Miss, but things don't get any easier to finish the regular season. One slip up and we could potentially free fall in the rankings. We're not even in the SEC championship game as we are currently 3rd. So let's handle business here against Tennessee and Florida State. South Carolina, who are the most overpowered team in the game, are the 1 seed in the SEC with LSU. They're at 2nd place. Dude, this might be the year. I'm figuring just play the moments. If we lose, we can sit there and suffer defeat with the rest of the team, feel it versus just straight up simming. And we are, honestly,
I know both of these teams
We're doing the damn thing right now. Unfortunately, with LSU and South Carolina ahead of us, we don't really control our own destiny for the SEC championship game, but, you know, we handle business against Florida State. I don't think it matters. We will be in the playoffs. And we were able to come back and find just a secondary quarterback here, Jason Boyett, who is almost a top 50 player, a top 10 quarterback in the nation. Able to get him signed very late as part of that second recruiting wave. I didn't really need to showcase it because, I mean, this doesn't look anything too crazy. Wasn't a gem. Accurate, sure. The 90 throw power is fine. Not really that much of an athlete, but just gives us a little bit of insurance in case, for whatever reason, we can't keep DJ Lagway, which I honestly think it's going to be a coin flip. All right, we're in an absolute dogfight with Florida State there, not going away, but it is going to be too little, too late. Another rivalry win for DJ Lagway and the Florida Gators here as they finish with that lone loss on the road. Death Valley, we got our 280 plus yards for DJ Lagway. Hell of a performance. And the Gators go 11-1, and we still might not be in the SEC championship. Oh, baby, we made it, and we get a chance to avenge our loss, our only blemish on our record this season against LSU. The only thing that's a bummer right now is that the goalposts have been moved. When we looked early in the year, it was what, 279 yards was the how to improve playing style. Now the bar's been moved to 310 yards, and DJ Lagway went from I'm good to, nah, actually, I want to transfer again. How good has DJ Lagway been? Well, 3,700 yards, 41 touchdowns to 2 picks. We need to average 310 yards passing a game, and we are at 310 on the dot. Oh, this is going to be brutal, isn't it? Oh, man. Yeah, you know, hey. Can't focus about that. Can't worry about it. We can only control what we can control. And that is grabbing some popcorn, sit in front row, and seeing if our Florida Gators, year 1, can win the SEC championship. I did know coming in, and I think most of you clicking on the video knew coming in that this wasn't going to be, you know, a grindy rebuild. It was more so, can we be good enough to not have our team just cannibalize itself in the portal? And we have more than enough talent on the roster to go on a run like this. But I'm still impressed that we got this done in year 1. I was thinking probably year 2, especially if we were able to retain that man right there, maybe the best quarterback in the nation. Let's see if we can put on a show here to avenge our only loss and win the SEC championship game. LSU scores first with a field goal. We enter right back with a touchdown. 2 field goals for LSU. Low-scoring game. They get a touchdown to double the lead, but we get a touchdown to say, hey, we are going to go into halftime with a 1-point lead. Very evenly matched. Field goal to the good guys. Nothing third quarter. Touchdown. Go ahead for LSU to start the 4th. Come on, DJ. That's going to be it. 2 minutes, 32 seconds. Touchdown, we win. We have a chance. We control our own destiny. Come on! Oh, we're going to overtime. First overtime touchdown, and the Gators do it in overtime over LSU. I hate that I have to look and see if DJ Lagway got 310 yards passing. But year 1, it's all it's the gun show. Tim Tebow has these guys playing inspired football. As we get 274. Now, obviously not a great game by DJ Lagway. But, man, we can't leave. All this winning, that should be enough to persuade him. Year 1 for Tim Tebow, SEC champions. That's what happens when you bring back the GOAT. In that game, Trey Wilson gets SEC Offensive Player of the Week. 8 catches, $125, and a touchdown. Damn, Georgia Bulldog gets the Heisman. Zachariah Branch, 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns. Tight end Amir Jackson gets the John Mackey Award. 41 catches, 644 yards, 8 tuds. You already know. Best center in college football, Jake Slaughter, Remington Award winner. Oh, DJ doesn't even make the short list for Heisman. That's wild. I guess, 4,000 yards, 43 touchdowns to 4 picks, as well as another 200. I mean, he probably could have scrambled a little bit more. That is, man, we got robbed. But what a matchup in the quarterfinal of the college football playoff. The #1 Florida Gators take on the Georgia Bulldogs. You know what? I'm kind of resigned to the fact that, 310 yards a game is pretty ridiculous. Standard to set for yourself. Knowing how the caliber of opponent we play. Like, there's not too many quarterbacks that probably average 310 yards a game. And for that to be like, I'm either leaving or staying based off of that, even though we are dog walking opponents. Maybe it's just not meant to be. We'll see. We got a playoff run here to continue to chase that 310 yards. Our team just has so much balance that it's just not net.
Of course, in the playoffs, it's
Oh, Georgia made the playoffs?
and advance. This is a crucial W. Great performance.
That's all I have to say about that. Tebow, gun show.
The challenges will continue going forward.
Did we get 310 yards? And the worst part about it is we moved the goalposts. It was 279, which we already have that average, and then it wasn't good enough. Oh, so frustrating. He's breaking records, and he's going to leave. A real nice matchup here in the semifinal. Our roster stacks up incredibly well against the number 5 Louisville Cardinal. We are almost 10 overall points better than Louisville, but both these teams, Louisville 14-1, Florida 13-1. I think at this point we just gotta enjoy DJ Lagway while we have him. Who knows what happens to the portal? I mean, even if he is, we still have persuasion attempts. But I absolutely hate the fact that I can't fully enjoy this Gator run, this Cinderella run. Because it feels like every game is like, oh, we're watching our best player leave. So we are, late field goal away from being down at halftime, able to tie it up at 10. This is what the hell is going on with Louisville? How are they giving us our biggest challenge all year?
In these playoff games, it's win or go home. So one side can continue to dream about
What?
the national championship. The other side
I know they got a good running back. Who else do they have to compete like that? Miller Moss, the transfer from USC, okay, whatever. Brown's very good, the sophomore running back, electrifying playmaker. You got Colin Lacey, I've heard of him. Defensively.
And now the stage is set for this season's ultimate college football game. We will see.
I think in almost any other scenario, if you said in hindsight, C4, year 1 of your first Florida Gators rebuild in college football 26, you're going to go to the college football playoff semifinal. I'm going to go, that's a win. I'm laughing. This feels terrible. All right, let's go look at all the stats. Tyreek Sapp just broke the Florida Gators single-season sack record. Shout out to him. DJ Lagway now holds every Florida Gators single-season passing record, yards and touchdowns. As an incredible season finishes, DJ Lagway, 4,300 yards passing, 46 touchdowns to 5 picks. I just can't let this be. We were supposed to get 279 yards average. We got 291. They moved the goalposts to 310. Which, okay, now let's just go to comparison. How many quarterbacks in this, for a deal breaker, for him to leave, how many quarterbacks in the nation average 310 yards a game? Like the top 10, and how many of them are on like gimmicky air raid offenses? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at all these schools that these players play for. You got Ole Miss, Tennessee, Georgia, Clemson. I mean, it's garbage. Outside of that, Jaden Baugh with a solid season. I think this is just more of our offense than anything. 700 yards, 15 touchdowns. Last year in college football 25 for the sim numbers, rushing yards were not great. Like, it felt very rare to get over 1,000. When the reality is, as we just saw, Isaac Brown was pretty ridiculous. You got a fullback up here as well. But across the board, the rushing yards in the sim have been increased to be a lot more realistic. Maybe not necessarily perfect yet, but it's a lot better than what we got last year. Trey Wilson, 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns for the sophomore, just under 1,000 for Sturdivant, the UCLA transfer. Vernell Brown, the freshman, 800 yards, 9 touchdowns. Amir Jackson, the Mackey winner, 7 and 9. You love to see on a defensive side, we have, that's big tackles. Dijon Johnson leads the team. But we got 14.5 sacks on 24 TFLs for Tyreek Sapp, 7 sacks from LJ McCray, 5 sacks on 12 TFLs for the gigantic Caleb Banks. And on a picks front, Devin Moore leads the team with 4. Here, Jackson is a first-team All-American. He also got it for SEC as well as Jake Slaughter. DJ Lagway, Trey Wilson, and Tyreek Sapp getting second-team All-American. Just for an idea how the manual player progression works, we're going to look at Amir Jackson, the award winner for the freshman. He has 7 upgrade points, as you can see underneath his 74 overall. You can hold Y, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, to auto progress, but the whole kind of point is to turn that off so that we can control how much a player goes up and down. And as you can see here, we are going to max out his route running. That sucks that he's already at that skill cap. We're also going to put 3 there into hands. And sure, why not 1 into blocking? Penn State ends up defeating Louisville in the national championship, so we can't even hang our hat on the fact that we lost to the eventual champion. I don't want to click this. I don't even want to look at what this is going to be. All right, let's get it over with. Like, ripping a Band-Aid off. And it's just, like, that is... How many persuasion chances do we got? I mean, it's a brand new coach. We got 10 chances. It just makes, like... What? We don't, like... Look, I get it in a way. Hey, there we go. Miles Graham stays. I get it in a way. But, like, also... It's brutal. Then 4 players to the NFL draft. Jake Slaughter goes in the first round. Tyreek Sapp in the 3rd. Caleb Banks in the 4th. Austin Barber in the 5th. I think you probably squeeze in Caleb Banks first, 2nd round. That's pretty realistic for the Gators. Now, sometimes you have a chance to try to go into the portal and get back your players. Just no chance. And now I have to completely turn on DJ Lagway to have a terrible season next year. Looks like Alabama, Ole Miss, Tennessee. Well, we're going to do our work. We got Avery Johnson, Rocco Beck, Alonzo Barrett. We got Marcel Reed as a potential option. Adam Matthews, Weigman, Veltkamp. So we have some interesting options here at quarterback. We're not left high and dry. But I'm a lot of thinking that our roster is not that far away from competing. If I wanted to do that, I would look at maybe, you go way down here. You have Aaron Noland, the transfer, like the freshman. Like, there's a lot of upside there. But I think we got to look at this as, is there a quarterback that can get us a national championship? And Avery Johnson, outstanding dual threat from Kansas State. I think he might give us a little bit of a shot. Oh, yeah, 100% getting Fluff Bothwell. See, in the case of Trey Wilson, we're a 2nd team, so we have a chance to see if we can bring him back. We definitely want to prioritize that. So it could blow up in our face. I'm going to be completely honest with you here, as we are swinging for the fences. I'm looking at Luke Hasz at tight end. Don't even need a tight end, but we're 1st place. We'll see what happens. I got Jordan Seaton, the 5-star tackle. We're 2nd place there. Keldrick Falk, 5-star pass rusher. We're 3rd. We have David Stone, the 4-star, which I think he was a former 5-star recruit from Oklahoma. We're number 2. We have Leonard Moore, who is one of the best corners in the nation. We're 1st there. We're 1st on Ashton Stamps. We're 1st on Jeremiah Wilson. Like, all 3 of these guys, if we can land them, 1, 2, and 3 starting corners. We have Coy Parrish, who is pretty much the Travis Hunter in today's college football 26. We're number 1 there, as well as Kerry Brown. Now, if we can land most of these guys, it's going to be a God class. We need to land the quarterback. We got to prioritize the quarterback. But also, it's a feeling out process. I felt real confident about our preseason board. We had 13 guys, thought we'd get 10. We ended up getting probably 7. So if we end up falling flat and only getting a couple players here, honestly, I think we might need to shave off. Like, we don't need a tight end. We just have the best young tight end in football. We're good at center, even with the 1st. Like, we're going to need these hours elsewhere. Okay, we'll go with that. It's not DJ Lagway. It's a hell of a 2nd place. We'll bring in 4-star Kenny Odom. We did, however, miss out on Aaron Noland and Keldrick Falk, which now puts a lot of pressure that we get Avery Johnson, because Nolan was just kind of the long shot. Second wave, we get Leacock, the flip from North Carolina. We get David Stone, the D tackle from Oklahoma. We get Leonard Moore, the 5-star from Notre Dame. Ashton Stamp's going to be a day one starter us, the LSU transfer. We get Jeremiah Wilson, the Houston transfer. Like, all these guys are going to be high 80s at minimum, I think. We got Coy Parrish, who I don't know, sky's the limit for Travis Hunter 2.0. Now my heart sunk a little bit because we did not get a quarterback that popped up. But the good news is that Avery Johnson, we are still number one there. And we're going to go to, top 3. We have a huge advantage over South Carolina and USC. And he's no DJ Lagway, but maybe he's the quarterback we need to win a national championship. So we get Avery Johnson, the 3rd quarterback in the portal. We get first team all-named Fluff Bothwell. We're able to get Luke Hash, one of the highest rated tight ends in the nation. We unfortunately miss out on the 5-star Jordan Seaton, which would have been nice to come in and replace Austin Barber. But Tim Tebow just moved mountains with this transfer portal. Probably my best transfer portal haul ever. So we end up with a top 10 recruiting class, and almost all of that came from how much can we say we dominated the transfer portal? The fact that I couldn't go and get DJ Lagway, but we dominated the transfer portal. It's on site next season. Take a look at our recruiting board. Now, something I have noticed is very few and far between are you going to find like elite dev players from base launch roster. Again, maybe that's a little bit of this early build, or maybe that's a little bit because of the dynamic dev traits. They didn't want to give out elite devs. But I mean, even when we were just kind of previewing our roster, Cormani McLean being the only player with an elite dev trait was kind of weird. But I'm just kind of saying that to, prepare us for some huge name talents that might only have, like Coy Parrish probably should have an elite dev trait. Leonard Moore probably should have an elite dev trait. So a star is pretty much as good as an elite, and that is exactly what we have got here. Avery Johnson, star dev. Don't know the attributes. We'll see out of training camp. We got Trey Wilson back. But now let's take a look at our actual recruiting class. Some of the high school players that we're able to bring in our top 10. We got Kevin Land, Impact Dev, Sorgi, Impact Dev at tight end, Kumar Normal, Elite Dev on Ladarius Stack, the rare gem that we had from the initial recruiting board. That is sick. He was one of the first players that we got to sign on. Star Dev on Zay Howard, pass rusher. Impact Dev on Cobb, the linebacker. We got an Impact Dev on probably one of the best route runners I've seen coming out of high school in Heckendorf. Northrop, Impact Dev. Boyette, star dev at quarterback, and our 5-star Paul Turbin, unfortunately, is only an impact. But the work that we just did in the transfer portal, we have a better roster. We are further ahead. This team, the adversity, the panic button that was hit when we lost DJ Lagway, turned Tebow into an absolute maniac for the transfer portal. Lagway was 92 overall. Sucks that we lost him. We replaced him with an 89 overall, an Avery Johnson. We had Fluff Bothwell, 91 overall running back. We return Trey Wilson, 91. We bring in Kenny Odom, 85 likely. I mean, obviously, we still have training camp. We get Leacock as well as an 80. But both these guys are going to be stars. Obviously, Trey Wilson is a bona fide 1. Luke Haj, 90 overall to pair with the best young tight end in the nation. We get Lamont Rogers, who's an 80. He steps in to replace Austin Barber at left tackle. We got Wells. I kind of brought him in. Potentially could flex him to one of the guard positions. He's an 83 overall, so he might give us some great competition at right guard. We were able to go out and get Anthony Smith, 86 overall. We were able to go out and get Stone, 83 overall as a sophomore. We're able to go out and bring in Lewis at linebacker, the lurker. He's an 87 overall. That is outstanding. Leonard Moore, 93. Stamps, 91. Jeremiah Wilson, 90. Dad and Coy Parrish, 91. And Brown, 85. Probably the greatest transfer portal of all time. And who other than Tim Tebow to get that done? Now, I'll be honest, the first time I played and finished and went through an offseason in Dynasty in college football 26, I was like, are they going to tell us? How am I going to know when a player goes up dev trade or not? Is it going to be something where I got to go search for it? But the best news is they tell you right away, right after you go through position changes, which players go up dev trait, as we have LJ McCray goes from normal up to an impact, which he probably should have been there anyways. And it's really not that overpowered as we only have one player going up dev trait for how much this Gators team overachieved last season. So taking a look, well, you still don't get huge trading boosts from the players coming in from the transfer portal, but what you can see for these guys are bulking up a little bit. We got 4 pounds on Coy Parrish for his weight. You'll love to see that. For our actual players here, Jaden Baugh has gone up a little bit. I'll be honest, I mean, our coach, we don't have any of really the nice upgrades for off-season training boosts and stuff like that for Tim Tebow. But we have a couple big winners here. Childs from 82. We got +1 for Miles Graham. We got +2 for Jamari Loyens on the defensive side of the ball. Nothing really too crazy elsewhere. We had a nice little +1 for Mizell, the deep threat. But generally speaking, not overly overpowered. But you still have players that are going up in specific attributes, just not enough to increase their overall. I was looking at our schedule here in year 2 for our Florida Gators. A lot more digestible than where it was. Now, I'm telling you right now, that's the game that we're going to be hopping in. DJ Lagway in Alabama, we have to win that. But we got Vandy, Arkansas, Mizzou this time around. Now, the gauntlet, now the end of the stretch. We got Oklahoma week 8, Georgia week 10, Auburn 11, South Carolina 12, and Florida State 13. That is where we're going to see if the insane haul we had in the transfer portal is going to be good enough to maintain our standing and the standard that we set year 1 with DJ Lagway. But I have to feel confident that this squad, that's really our offense, is the exact same rating it was last year. Our team overall is better, and our defense is a lot better. I mean, we might be able to get out of here 2 years, win the Natty. In my mind, I was thinking all along, there's going to be a 5-year rebuild at max. After our success year 1, before we knew DJ Lagway was leaving, I thought this might be a 1-year rebuild. I'm still thinking somewhere in the 2 to 3 years. It's all about, does Avery Johnson hit the ground running? Some of the players were able to land just ridiculous talent. Coy Parrish, I did a breakdown, my C4 Freaks, top 10 players in college football 26. Again, not 100% sure what order all my videos from this early capture period are being uploaded in, but Parrish was very much in that role. He is so freaking good, and we have, what, how many points? 49 upgrade points, baby. Let's go. We're going to go boom. 7. Hit you there. We're going to go boom there. I mean, these are the upgrades from training camp, right? So boom. We're going to help out your quickness a little bit. And with our 12 remaining, let's double up here on run support here. Help you out a little bit. I don't have a lot of experience in rebuilds yet. And that's probably why the training camp results weren't as overpowered. Some players got upgraded, which led me to believe that the points were spent. But as you can see, literally on all these guys, I'm going to have to selectively and manually upgrade because everybody's training has been earned. Just for some reason, only some players' training was actually applied. So we're actually going to have a much stronger roster here in just a second. Oh man, I might as well just highlight some of these dogs. Ashton Stamps, the transfer from LSU, had over 50 skill points, so we're gonna go all in demand. We're gonna upgrade some zone coverage. Max out the skill caps there. We still have 7 points remaining. We might as well, help him chip in on the run game. He's now a 95 overall. We also have one of the best DBs in the nation, Leonard Moore. We're going to max out his skill cap for man. We're going to max out his skill cap for zone. And with 15 remaining, let's go right into quickness, make him that much better of an athlete. Gives us the trio of corners that we landed in the portal. $70 million spent to land 94, 94, 95, instantly giving us the best secondary, I think, in the nation. Ultimate Crate 84. After pumping all of our points here into pass rush, goes from 84 up to an 88. Mel Brown coming off a very respectable freshman's campaign. We got 56 points. Let's go right in. And I mean, again, you're going to have to self-restrain, probably doing this every single time. For skill position players, we're going to go right into quickness. And let's kind of finish out here. Let's go 2 hands. Let's go 2 route running. Honestly, let's probably go 3 hands, 3 route running. 86, let's go. Trey Wilson has a 91 with 45 points. All of these I'm going to go into route running. He has more than enough athleticism. We need his ability to get open. to improve as much as we humanly can get it to. So let's actually, how do we got here? 15. Get at least that once, and we'll be able to max out his route running at a 95 overall. So stoked we're able to get him to return. After spending our upgrades on our 2 running backs, Bothwell and Baugh, and I'm going to go with Baugh as the starter. Not just, you know, Bothwell doesn't have a higher rating, but I'm going to reward Baugh for a great season last year. That 1-2 punch, 90-93, is going to take a lot of pressure off our quarterback. Speaking of that quarterback, Avery Johnson, the star dev 4-star transfer from K-State. I'm a sucker for trying to improve the throw power. +2 from 89 to 91. Oh, I think we got to try to go it again here. Up to 93. We can keep going. 95, 97. It's not DJ Lagway, but it's close. That's how to set up our recruiting board. Just quick initial, what do we got? We got a couple 5-stars. We have Kang and Gallimore. 2 5-stars. The number 2 and number 1 quarterback. We are within their top 3. So I'm kind of glad the football world, given our role in the transfer portal and this initial quick look at the quarterbacks here for the first stage of recruiting, they're all just, they're feeling for Florida. They think we got hard done by how DJ Lagway handled business, and they kind of want to throw us a bone. Also going through our recruiting cycle, would like to shout out Rashad Aikman for being our first insta-commit. Don't really need tight end. Need to just kind of add 1 for roster minimums. Able to get the number 364th player, 15th tight end in the nation. Let's go. All right, so taking a look at our initial recruiting board. Nothing like insane. We are going to chase the 5-stars for the fun. We have Carlos Parmele, the 5-star gem, who is the number 22 player in the nation, the number 2 linebacker. I need to try to add 2 linebackers, and he looks exceptional at 6'2", 224, so a little bit undersized, but that 89 speed, 90 acceleration, the high tackle, the high pursuit, the just 71 man, 76 zone for a true freshman is outstanding. Really would like to chase that down. We also were able to get Scroggins and Cheeseman on the offensive line, both gems. Like, that was probably the one little critique from our first initial recruiting class, is didn't really get as many gems as like we kind of feel like you used to get in college football. 26. And let's just kind of look at live scouting for the top 2 quarterbacks. We have Lamar Gallimore, dual threat. We have Liati Kang, I believe that's how you pronounce that, from Hawaii. Let's just see. Can we? Ooh, 95 throw power for Gallimore. Okay, he looks pretty good. Now, the dual threats, in my opinion, don't have the same type of speed that we were seeing with the dual threat quarterbacks in college football 25. Now, maybe if you get an athlete that is a dual threat quarterback, maybe we'll see a little bit more speed in that department. But I love seeing that 95 throw power. We also get that with Kang. Speed's not in the same ballpark. What do we got? Any difference? Maybe we got fan favorite mental. We got road dog, field general, and the natural. Really not a huge discrepancy between the two. I mean, I suppose all things equal, we'll go Gallimore just because of the slight edge in accuracy. Now, I'm not one to flex, but after spending our training camp XP, it's a good roster. We get a game Kansas team to open up our season, game 1 of the Avery Johnson era. Huge shoes to fill after the year that DJ Lagway had. But it's nice to, at least in the context, I'm not going to project into real life, context of college football 26. I feel like we got a quarterback that really wants to be a Florida Gator. He's probably not, I guarantee Avery Johnson's not going to hit us with, you know, oh man, I need 400 yards passing or else I don't want to be here. Look at this start from the Gators. 20-0, just beating the and I think the big difference for us is, I think, with our 99 defense, with the best defense arguably in the nation, with the secondary that we have, we're going to get a lot of this, where maybe it's not always going to be 30, 40 points scored on the offensive side of the ball, but I think our defense is going to shut down most opposing team quarterbacks. Let's get a look at the stat line here. Hell of a win for Avery Johnson. And I mean, trying to like say the offense was impressive. 37 points. We were getting that maybe every other game. We forced 2 picks. We only give up 45 yards. What's the overall here on Cole Dunn? Okay, it's kind of butt cheeks. But Avery Johnson, 250, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 77% completion percentage. Our run game was kind of just is what it is. Shout out Odom in his debut as a Gator with 100 yards, no touchdowns. And on the defensive side of the ball, just nothing. McCray, Graham, Smith, Loins, all with sacks. Brown and Stamps getting picks. Now here, week 4, the #1 game we have circled on our schedule. We are the #1 team in the nation, 3-0. Alabama, unranked, 3-0. DJ Lagway's new team. He's playing pretty good. 3 games, 10 touchdowns, no picks. But are you averaging 310 yards passing, my good sir? Oh, he is still. Okay, so he's got everything he wanted, and he's a 93 overall. We will be playing the moments on the road against Alabama. This will be one of the rare play the moments where I kind of hope is that traitor point. You know, you wonder. We got Trace Mack at kicker. Great kicker, great leg. We can get maybe 5 yards back here. And this drive will circle quickly. Left bumper, turn around, and the grab is made. First and goal. Limits the squiggly lines as best we can. Let's punch it in. Jaden Boff, 15 touchdowns a year ago. Finds the end zone. What a drive. Oh, there we go. Gets some insta-shed. Outstanding pursuit. 4th down. Let's make sure they kick this. Because if I was them, I would not kick this. You're at home. There you go. Hey, I respect that right there. The coach changes his mind on the fly. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Get home. Bring him down. Yes, LJ McCray! Unblocked. It's not going on my highlight reel. Unblocked. But we will take that, and then it doesn't matter because they get a touchdown over the second half. Haven't been put in great spots by play the moments. Oh, 3rd and 10. Here you go. Make something happen. And we now trail, and hopefully we get a much more favorable situation here on the next moment. Oh, 3rd down. What's it going to be? 3rd. Okay, at least I can work with 3rd and 3. We're in 4-down territory. Just over midfield. Looking to tie this ball game up. We'll go with a nice little grab there. Quick. Oh, it's a drop, actually. Okay, sick. Okay, my defense just, actually, it's just one of those play the moments where we just got little brother on the road.
No hesitation at all. The offense stays on the field. They'll go for it. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. To the end zone.
I mean, hey. Similar to the LSU game last year, right? We lost to LSU. Didn't look really that impressive. We learned from that loss. I'm sure we'll see DJ Lagway again. Sure of it. So an update on a recruiting board at our bye week. We're now 4-1. We're able to bounce back, beat Vandy after the Bama loss. It was not the end of the world. We're at a spot right now where we're looking pretty good for our initial board to get every single target outside of the 5-star quarterback, Gallimore. We were in a recruiting battle. Again, maybe, like, I don't think I'm doing this wrong. It's probably the only thing that I'm probably going to end this early access in Dynasty, not 100% sure. Like, so when you go to the recruiting battle, like, you read the blog post, I did a breakdown on it. It's like, oh, now it's like a head-to-head. But, like, I'm still 50 out of 50 hours. Like, it doesn't really, like, the only thing that, like, makes sense would be, like, if I had more available hours to give. Like, that would be the time to, I don't know. I would say I'm still very confused. And I think right now what we need to hope, and it's probably unlikely, that Week 7 visit can happen before Gallimore commits. I think we're going to get some good news. Is Parmelli, the 5-star linebacker, commits? I think we're going to find out that we lost it on the quarterback to South Carolina here, as we've literally got the rest of our board locked in. And, you know, hey, he's from South Carolina, local kid, is what it is. I'll tell you right now, fellas, these are the kind of wins we need. You go against Arkansas, I'm not saying it's a trap game, but we're back at home. You need to handle business. You need to get on a run from that early bye because we have a gauntlet coming up and just smashing a legit, solid Arkansas team, 35-10, great confidence builder. Now, we rebounded very nicely. That's losing to Alabama, who somehow at 8-0 is only number 10 in the nation. We've got and rattled off SEC wins over Vandy, over Arkansas, over Oklahoma, over Mizzou. And, I mean, South Carolina, Florida State preseason look very, very challenging. Those aren't as daunting, but we do have a Georgia-Auburn stretch here in November. I mean, we got a great opportunity here. Again, I think Georgia's so good that even if we lose, it'd be a quality loss. It shouldn't hurt us too bad. But we're 4th in the SEC. We can't afford to really lose any more games in conference play. This has to be a game that our 99 overall defense shows up. Georgia is always somewhat limited offensively. So when you have a generational defense that we have put out there, a generational secondary that we have put out there, in a big moment like this, they gave up 21 points and couldn't close the deal out for us against Alabama on the road. This is another big road test. Well, road neutral test. These two tend to feel like, as of late, road games for my beloved Gators. That is what we want to see. Opening drive touchdown for Florida. We followed up. We have more points. 14-zip. Defense pitching a shutout. 21-0. Come on. Don't blow it. Honestly, just chew the clock up at this point. I'll be fine with a ugly win. But we have a chance to take down the #1 team in the nation. And it is looking outstanding in that 99 overall defense that we constructed. Tim Tebow with a Brinks truck going door to door, finding the best DBs in the portal. Maybe didn't show up against Alabama. Slight user error of that game. But in the biggest game, probably the biggest win of this rebuild, that Georgia, I mean, they just had nothing. We suffocated that Georgia offense 24-6 in a game where offensively we held them to a $150, no touchdowns, no picks. Johnson also was not particularly great. We had to win it old school. Jaden Baugh, 88 yards, hat trick and touchdowns. Floff Bothwell giving us 10 yards a tote every time he touched the football. And on the defensive side, the pressure was great. LJ McCray, what a special player the former 5-star recruit has developed into for us. Stamps there. I mean, we got a lot of PBUs. There just was nothing. Another big game here that we'll hop in and just see through the moments, but we are now back as the #1 team in the nation. Also, a quick update to our recruiting board. Initial board completed. We were able to land the 1 5-star here in Parmelli. Went back in for the second wave of recruiting, and we are back in play as it stands right now for 2 more 5-stars. We have Biggers at D-tackle, who's a top 20 player, the #2 D-tackle in the nation, and we have Skoranek as a pass rusher, who's a top 15 player in the nation. I'm gonna be honest, what I'm seeing here is I don't know if it'll play that way, but if we can get Bama back at home, I don't think anybody's beating us at home. This is a good Auburn team, and it wasn't even close. The Swamp, from what we've seen firsthand, the best home field advantage in college football. So right now we got a battle in South Carolina. 17-17. And while we're definitely not lighting up the scoreboard, Avery Johnson, no DJ Lagway. He has a little bit of a clutch gene in him. God, this is very much another one of those situations. Very close game, but our team led by our defense. We didn't end the season well, let's be honest. For a #1 impressive win over Georgia, struggled on the road against South Carolina and Florida State against, those are down years for those programs. But you know what they say about an ugly win? Counts the same as a regular one. Alabama got the SEC championship against Texas. Alabama finishes 10-2. #12 team might have a chance. I want to see them again. I need to see them again, and they get a chance potentially to sneak into the playoff. Over the tail of the table, this matchup, Texas goes undefeated in SEC play, and they're pretty good, but I don't think there's going to be any roster that is comparable to this Gators team. But I will give credit where credit's due. 96 overall defense is really, really, really good. SEC championship, looking to defend our crown. Beat LSU last year for the SEC championship. Great showing from DJ Lagway. Now to see what Avery Johnson can do at the helm. I want to see more support. I want to see how much the defense, that 99 overall defense, can show up like it's shown up time and time again in big games for us. So opening score goes to the Gators. Our defense almost pitched a shutout for the whole first half. Only giving up 3 points, which is impressive. Touchdown lead going into the second half. Ooh, a Okay, touchdown. Okay, we're trading tutties here. 17-17, 2:52 for us to go on and try and win it. And we get a field goal. We're winning ugly.
Wow, what a tremendous run these guys.
We're not having, there's going to be 0% chance that Avery Johnson's going to have 40 touchdowns and like 3 picks like DJ Lagway had last year.
In this sport.
But that defense, if you can terrorize Arch Manning, you can terrorize any opposing team's quarterback and offense that we're going to face this season.
And that is going to do it.
Let's see what we got here statistically. 20-17 for your 12-1 Florida Gators. We forced the pick on Arch Manning. Johnson played a clean game, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. The run game was non-existent. We usually can rely on it. Shout out Trey Wilson and Brown. Defensively, we got a sack from David Stone, a pick from Jordan Castell. And we keep that 1 seed going into the college football playoffs. What better time to hey, how much better can it get after winning the SEC championship? Oh, we're just going to land a 5-star pass rusher, Skoranek. We still have a chance with Biggers. We're in a recruiting battle with Nebraska, even though I don't really know how the recruiting battles work just quite yet. Jordan Castell for getting SEC Defensive Player of the Week in the win against Texas. Darnell Brown getting Offensive Player of the Week. Well, when there's only 2 teams playing, you have a great chance when you win the game to get these honors. Good God, Jeremiah Smith wins the Heisman cheat code with a snake. DJ Lagway, top 3. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of Florida Gators here. All right, there we go. Tim Tebow, top 10 in the Bear Bryant Coach of the Year award. Get Ashton Stamps in the top 10 for Jim Thorpe. But this isn't a team that's here for accolades. This isn't a team that's trying to win individual awards. This isn't a team that's trying to get Heisman. This is a team that had to go to a dark place after getting robbed of their star quarterback. And we are just here to ruin college football for everybody else. We're going to win games by kicking field goals, having a quarterback that can't really light it up too much, even though we have skill position players and a good O-line. We're going to ugly win the national championship here in U2. And it starts in the quarterfinal against Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl. Ooh, tail of tape. We'll give credit where credit's due. I think that 94 overall offense for Notre Dame might be the best offense we've faced on paper this season. Can't remember what Alabama was, but it's going to be a tough game. Why is my defense a 96? How did we lose 3 points? We just saw in real time the games that my defense was too good. They're nerfing it. There's no injuries. Our team's full. Okay, whatever. 96 defense still will be able to get this job done. Come on. 10-7. All right, 10-10. Trading points. 13. Ugly game. Touchdown. So we're getting a lot of field goals. They're getting touchdowns. I don't love that. But we just need to get to a spot. Keep ahead of the numbers. 2020. At no point just fall. Keep that insurance. Keep chipping away at the lead. Let's go! Clutch. Ace in the veins. Avery Johnson. Guarantee you're looking at the stat line. It's not going to be good. But when it's 2 minutes to go and you need points, he's going to find a way. Ugly, ugly game. Not the SEC team I wanted to see. We got Texas in the playoff semifinal. I didn't even see if Alabama made it. They didn't make it. Good riddance. Hope DJ Lagway is very happy with his decision, as we are 1 win away from going to the Natty. But no matter what way you cut it, you're just, you're playing with fire when you roll against Texas, Arch Manning and company on any given week. They can all show up and end our season here. Back-to-back semifinal losses. Let's see. So they already had a touchdown before I even started the friggin' thing. 7-7. Okay, low-scoring game. Ooh, touchdown for us. We're going to go in. Ooh, we get the cheesy little field goal to go up. Full touchdown insurance into the second half. Quick field goal for Texas. Touchdown. They're up 3. Insta score for the good guys. Touchdown. So we're trading tutties. Oh, no, dude. What happened? This game was close, and then out of nowhere.
So their excellent season comes to an end. They stumble 1 step short of getting into that national championship game. Always stings to lose a semifinal game.
Man, what a magical year. These guys had done everything
You thought-
that's been asked of them. They had a great
If you thought we did work in the transfer portal last year,
I thought they had a great chance to win this game.
I'm buying a natty for next season.
Short, but still a great year.
And that's going to
And the streak continues. Whoever beats us, it's like, think of the old UFCs where it was all one night where you just had to fight 3 times. Whatever team's meeting us in the semis, they are limping into the finals. Perfect season, Ohio State. I think the big thing this year is like we got a nice quarterback in Avery Johnson, but like we half as many touchdowns, you know? Look at the scores of those games. Look at the score on the other side. 40 points. You're going to be able to score 40 and 50 points this year anyways to win a national championship, and we just did not have the quarterback play to go on to do that, unfortunately. Run game, Ball was solid. Great 1-2 punch there. I think if we didn't have two good running backs, we would have had a 1,000-yard rusher for sure. No 1,000-yard receiver. I mean, just such a limited passing offense. Our defense was elite, one of the best defenses in the nation. We got 8.5 sacks from Loins, 7 from David Stone, 6.5 LJ McCray, 5.5 from Anthony Smith, 4 picks Stamps, 4 picks Leonard Moore. Man, oh man. I mean, hopefully we, Parrish and Moore don't declare right away. And then we just give me another $50 million to hit the portal, please. Let's see what we got. Players leaving. Oh, no. I mean, expected. I can easily understand, like, the juniors going to the NFL draft. At least that's not as punishing as watching dudes hit the transfer portal. But let's see, we got persuasion. So Trey Wilson's gone. Bothwell is gone. Can we get Parrish to return? Dang. Can we get Leonard Moore to return? Dang. Can we get Jaden Baugh to return? Yes. Let's go. Homegrown. You know it. Let's try Kerry Brown. I mean, we might as well just try almost everybody at this point. Kearney starting center. He's gone. Dallas Wilson. Gone. Childs. Gone. Oh, man. Montgomery. Gone. Miles Graham, second time trying to hit the portal. He's back again. Okay. Well, lost out on Turpin, our 5-star. Just didn't get on the field on last year's recruiting cycle. Lose out on the speedster, Tank Hawkins. Dang. The amount of talent we had, just a disgusting. I mean, I don't want to say that was our window, but I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first rounders. Wilson, Moore, Stamps, Parrish, all in the portal. Bothwell in the second round. Hash in the second round. Third round, Johnson. Smith, third round. Wells, fifth round. It's literally like, hey, look at our portal and how much. I mean, we got insane XP for Tebow because of it. But, how I interpret this is we need to have an even more overpowered portal to put this team over the top so we can get that natty next year. But looking at the portal, it looks like we're going to have plenty of options. Got a 5-star in Micah Hudson, the #1 player. We need to replace Trey Wilson. Come on down. So our transfer portal targets, we're going to go again. Anybody that we might have a chance, we're going to back up the Brinks Truck 4. A couple big names, maybe not the same name value that we had year 1, but we got Tradez Green, the 6'7" LSU tight end. One guy is one of the top tight end prospects in all of college. We have Jalen Mbakwe, 2-way player. I thought he was a DB. He must have made the change to wide receiver at Alabama, formerly of Alabama. We have interest in the #1 player, 5-star Micah Hudson, who would walk in and be our wide receiver 1. And then we're going to go after Eli Holstein at quarterback, the Pitt transfer. Different style of quarterback. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe let's get off the DJ Lagway, Avery Johnson dual threat, and let's get maybe more of a, even though it's listed as a dual threat, he's more of a pocket passer. Maybe that's what we need. I think when we look at the attributes as well with Holstein, that 95 throw power, very good accuracy. I mean, dual threat, but 85 speed, 87 acceleration. He can get the job done. I think it give us another great chance at competing for a title again next season. 5-star Micah Hudson, first 5-star in the portal, even though probably some of the guys we got last year should have been 5s. We got Vic Burley, big transfer from Clemson, locked in. DJ Pickett, probably the best true freshman corner, former 5-star recruit from LSU, one of the most overpowered corners overall in the game. That's a good get. We get Kerry Brown, who we got last year in the portal. We thought about going back in, convinced him to stay. And then remember Rasheem Woods? He was a 5-star recruit back in year 1. Lost out on him. Comes crawling back. And at least we get an option in case we can't get Holstein as well. He's a freshman, so he's going to his sophomore. We got a lot of youth there. Developmental options. Still definitely want Holstein if we're still in play. We are the number 2. It's a recruiting battle with TCU. Okay, bring it on. Ooh, hey, that might actually be our first recruiting battle. We get Eli Holstein to come in to be quarterback 1. We get Zach Rice, the former 5-star North Carolina man. John Walker on the defensive line. Micah Welch in the backfield. We do end up losing on a couple notable players. Trey'Dez Green would have been probably the number 1 guy I would have liked to see come in. But overall, more domination from the Gators. More insane funds dropped as we, pre-training camp, are back up to a 91 overall across the board. So the good guys, the Florida Gators, finish with a top 5 recruiting class. The players that we're bringing in from the transfer portal, Rasheem Woods gives us a star dev quarterback. We get DJ Pickett with a star dev, Burley with a star dev, Walker with a star dev, Rice with an elite dev trait. Impact on Fleming, impact on Welch. Holstein comes in with a star, likely our day 1 starter, and the 5-star Micah Hudson, elite dev. And I'll be shocked if the number 1 player in the portal doesn't end up our starting wide receiver 1. Looking at our recruiting class, our 14 players that we're able to bring in. We got star dev on Carlos Michaels at wide receiver, star dev on Steven at safety, a couple impacts, normal, star dev at guard, star dev at Will, star dev at guard. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. We got Blunt at wide receiver, impact, Pepper, normal. Come on, give me an elite. Skoranek, the 5-star that we got late in the cycle, just an impact, and Parmelli, there we go, at linebacker, elite dev, 5-star gem, the belle of the ball. So pre-training camp, looking at what we got in the portal, Holstein's an 88, Woods is a 79. We got Welch, who's an 86, at least gives us a nice little compliment to Jaden Baugh. We're going to have to move some players around here, though. Micah Hudson, 93 overall in the portal. We got Fleming, who's a 90. Unfortunately, Amir Jackson keeps kind of getting screwed here because of our portal approach. He was very good when he actually had a chance to go there and start. Zach Rice comes in as an 83 pre-training camp. Defensively, Skoranek, the 5-star, is a 78 pre-training camp. Walker's an 89. That is a get right there. Vic Burley, 87. So we have more depth than we've ever had at any point in this rebuild at the D-tackle position. Parmelli, the 5-star elite dev, walks in as an 80. He's going to be a day 1 starter. Tackle machine for the boys. 84 for Pickett. It's honestly a little bit lower than what I would have expected. I love seeing a true freshman Wanham coming in as a 79 overall. Okay. Cool. Upgrading our team right now. Vernell Brown was an 88. And he is going to enter year 3 as a 97 overall. Same with Micah Hudson, the big transfer. You could really see the XP gain difference with the players with the elite dev trait. We're going to max out the route running for Hudson. We got 12 points remaining. Those will just funnel that into whatever we can. He is a 98 overall. Him and Vernell Brown. You know, what we had last year gained in the secondary from the portal, we got in the wide receiver room this year. Hey, look at what we got for the quarterbacks. Holstein, we got 47 points. So he's an 88 overall with that 47. That should take him probably into the 90s. Boom, right there. Throw power up to 97. And I would say probably at this point, I guess quickness. Oh, can't get him into the 90s. Dang. But look at Rasheem Woods. We have over 100 points to develop our young quarterback and our emergency plan. Look at he has 1 skill cap. Let's go. The insurance policy, if we can't get it done in year 3, Woods could be special. Look at this. Boom. +4 to his throw power up to 96. I think while accuracy is so affordable, like we might be able to get him like to be our starting quarterback. Boom. 98 throw power. Boom. 99 throw power. Right in the accuracies from here on out. Oh my God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you, your starting quarterback. Sorry, Mr. Holstein. So our team overalls before training camp, 91. And we can see the upgrades here. Post training camp, we have Hudson and Brown. Outside of that, we got +4s and +5s. Tight end room, +6 for Sorgi. On the offensive line, nothing too insane. Maybe a little worried, honestly, with the state of our offensive line. But across the defense, just look at that, +6 for Cobb. Stack went up on +10. He was 76. We upgraded him. Graham up to an 85. Secondary +9 for Hanks. DJ Pickett up to an 89. So we have a good depth. But, I mean, definitely a drastic change in our secondary from where it was last year. You get what you pay for on the portal. 97 overall. Look at our schedule. Great opening slates. Like, that should be enough to, with all the new faces coming in from the portal, to get some confidence and some momentum rolling. On paper, if the back half of the schedule holds up, though, Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia, Auburn is going to be tough. Now, not to kind of be like an ex-boyfriend and keeping up tabs on your, what's going on with the other ex there, DJ Lagway went to the NFL. So I don't hate Alabama as much. Still hate them. Also, context to our team overall, it looks very super team. Plenty of other teams in the SEC that are right in the exact same area code. Take a look at our transfer portal as we go into year 3. This is more of a year where I'm trying to add depth, not so much chase starters. I think for a lot of starter spots, we've been able to rely on the transfer portal. I don't see really that well drying up too much. We got James Cruz, the 5-star safety, within his top 5. We're going to be aggressive there. Brett Gales, the 4-star corner. We're number 2. He actually looks really, really nice with that 95 speed, which would be a good get. Get a couple nice linebacker shipments. Some of the best speed we've seen at linebacker as an athlete, with that 90 speed, 87 acceleration, which would be great. Palavao at D-tackle, the number 1 player in the nation, the 5-star. We do need 2 D-tackles, kind of have that on my wish list. And we're within his top 5, so we're going to be very, very aggressive trying to bring him in. And we also have the 5-star quarterback, first-team All-Name Rocky Mayweather. That just sounds like a franchise guy. Not a big deal if we can't get him, but hey, why not? Swing for the fences. Season over against Central Florida. Hopefully a sign of things come, at least for this kind of digestible opening stretch of games. We should be stomping teams. But quarterback play last year with Avery Johnson. Never really had like a big game. Do we have the problem solver at quarterback? I mean, the yards still aren't great. I don't know what's going on with the passing yards here in the sim. But I'll take that 4-touchdown, no pick every day. We got plenty of those back when we had DJ Lagway. Coming into our bye week, we get the 5-star quarterback, Rocky Mayweather. We're still in a great position for the 5-star defensive tackle. We've handled business, 5-0, beat the teams we need to beat. Maybe, 20-10 over Vandy, 1-score win over Mizzou. Could have been more convincing, but an SEC win is an SEC win. And we got another, somewhat tough test in Arkansas, but through this, that tough stretch has maintained. Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia, and Auburn. I mean, 2-loss Oklahoma, I guess. Auburn's 3-2, still with a 20th ranking. It's maybe a little overrated, but those are still going to be, I'm not going to say decide our season, but I think how we perform in those games will be able to determine maybe our expectations for a playoff run. Cha-ching. Got him. So overall, 4 recruited. We missed out on 2 players, missed out on one of the 5-star safeties, but the safety was he was interested in our program more than it was I needed a safety. The big 2 5-stars that I kind of wanted in Mayweather and Tebow. Tebow easily being the most important player on our board. Getting him locked in is huge. Revenge game. Again, don't hate them as much as I would have if they had DJ Lagway for another year. They embarrassed me. We couldn't get our get back either. They couldn't even find a way to make the playoff. Let's humble them. Let's smash them. This time, we're at the swamp. It's going to be different. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. We don't have to go undefeated. We saw how hard it was last year in College Football 25 to go undefeated. Don't have to run the table. No pressure on that. Don't lose to Bama again. Smash them. Honestly, can we smash them? High scoring game. Not a lot of defense being played here in the first half. Which team's going to blink first? And it is Alabama. We're able to get a touchdown and a field goal. A 10-point momentum swing at the end of the first half. Second half, I want points every single drive. We got 2 out of 3 drives in the third were points. That's close enough to a smash for me.
This was a case of a higher rank, respected.
There's a joke that it could be made there, but this video is brought to you by EA. Appreciate the win. Nothing like, I mean, he's a red shirt, but there's nothing about Rasheem Woods that's playing like a freshman in these big-time games. So efficient. He's ruthless. With that win over Alabama, the Florida Gators are now back where we belong as the #1 team in the nation. But the pressure only builds and builds as we get Georgia 7-1. While I think on paper we're probably the best team in the game, Georgia's right there with us. Tebow got these guys ready for war. And we got a quarterback that we haven't seen. I mean, we've done good against Georgia. They've not been a thorn in our side. They've kind of, I mean, maybe this would be the time. But I'm thinking that we could run the table, that Georgia would finally find a way to sneak back a win. They're a very talented team. Probably going to be the best roster we face all regular season. It's a low-scoring game. Tied at 13. Everything to play for. Field goal. Too many field goals. But at least our defense is given only what we're getting. Clutch time. Clutch time! He does it again!
That's the kind of match.
Tie ball game. And Woods goes, hey, you need a score? I got you a score. And I think that is 3 straight years. Every year of this rebuild, Florida has beat Georgia. I don't want to, look past any opponents here. But we get past Auburn here. Could run the table. Surprise, surprise, it's Texas again. Landscape of the SEC, it's kind of been like consistently us, Texas, and LSU. Georgia 8-4. Obviously, you always like to see Alabama be a little bit better, but they just lost DJ Lagway. Didn't really have much of a successor in place. South Carolina has just got ravaged in the portal year on year on year. I mean, there you have it, man. Look at that. Offensively, again, not the best. We don't have the 500 points at Texas. Defensively, best in the nation. The Miami Hurricanes are the only other defense that's under 200 points, and we have them beat by almost 50. Wouldn't say it's an even matchup, but Texas has more than enough talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball, to make this game ugly. And I would say outside of trying to get the perfect season, not a lot of pressure here because we handled business during the regular season. Even a loss here, which we don't lose. We are 2-0, 2 straight SEC championships. But a loss here doesn't doom us. Wouldn't give us a lot of momentum and confidence going for a playoff run. But more importantly, we beat Texas in the SEC championship last year. They beat us in the college football playoff semifinals. Yeah, this has been our rivalry matchup. I'm sick and tired of underperforming in these moments. And I think the #1 defense in college football once again needs to stand up against the powerful Texas Longhorns and get the job done. And there we go. When we need points, when we need stops, it is 3 straight SEC championships for the Florida Gators.
Now they can call themselves champions of the SEC.
I don't see anybody stopping us. Maybe Miami because they have a very good defense as well. But right now, I haven't felt this confident any of the other previous 2 years. Let's celebrate it, boys. The hat trick. 3 straight utter dominance in SEC play. Austin Simmons from Ole Miss gets the Heisman Trophy winner. We got to have someone on the defense pick up an award. Not one. Regular season, I mean, honestly, not. Man, we missed DJ Lagway. Offenses looked literally half what we've got with him. Run game has been, efficient at scoring tutties. Fortunately, our receivers aren't going to put up big-time numbers because of our limited passing offense. David Stone, the transfer from Oklahoma, 18 TFLs. 10 sacks is sick. 5 from McCray. DJ Pickett, love seeing the LSU transfer with 4 picks. But, outside of David Stone, nothing's overly impressive with this Gators team on paper from a box score standpoint. So in the quarterfinal, we get LSU, a team we haven't in a meaningful game seen since year 1's SEC championship, where we got revenge. They beat us year 1 in the regular season. We beat them in the SEC championship. And now, full circle moment.
And now the pressure and the intensity continue to mount as we go.
We know what it takes. We've gone to the semis 3 straight years. We haven't hicked up at this stage in the quarters. We know how to beat LSU. Let's just go out there and do it. Boom, touchdown. Boom, points. Defense suffocating again. How about a couple more points? Can we get one more touchdown, please? One more tutty right here. Come on. Fourth quarter touchdown. Put this game away. Don't flirt with overtime. When you need a score.
Of course, in the playoffs, it's survive and advance. This is a crucial W.
Who is our miracle man? 10-10. LSU thought they had a chance. And then at the end, Jaden Vaughn's just like, you know what? I've been here since the beginning. I'll just give you a 73-yarder. We'll get right back into the semifinals. Legend. And our victim in the semifinal is going to be Clemson. We need to run right through them. Semifinals, unfortunately, been our ceiling the last couple years. Clemson, pretty good team. I'd say, like, you know, the upper echelon S tier, you're going to be at least a 90+, but they're pretty much right there in the true Orange Bowl of two orange teams. So the Bowl of Oranges. More so, we stop losing in the semifinals. It's like the Eagles back in the day with McNabb and Andy Reid. We just could not get out of the NFC Championship game. Come on. Come on. Elite defense, show up. I'm nervous. I love that late touchdown, but they score. No momentum, really. Boom, 21-14, fourth quarter. We have a fourth quarter lead, 2 straight scores. Defense gets a stop. We kill the game up with more points. And finally, we shatter through the ceiling. 31-14 in the college football playoffs semifinal. Gators over Clemson. Dabo can't believe. Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks, Dabo. Gosh darn. Maybe we got to hit the portal a little bit better, bud. We got to get the stat line here. I love that, man. The way that we were able to kill that game off in the second half. We got big-time plays. Ooh, that just doesn't matter. Look, Vernell Brown, 8-yard touchdown. Don't worry about it. Right before that, look, they got Raiola in the transfer portal. Baby Mahomes, it's Aiden Mizell. 2 straight passing touchdowns by Woods. And the Gators are in the natty. Rasheem Woods, I mean, he's playing his best football. Best football of the season when it matters. And in the national championship game, he's going to have his eyes set on destroying its defense. Far and away, the best 2 defenses by a mile in college football meet collision course national championship. And what a game do we have. 15-0. 15-0. One team is going for a perfect season. One team is going back to the drawing board. We know our stats weren't particularly great. Emory Williams, on the other hand, a lot better. 37 touchdowns, 5 picks. Their run game, why are my sim numbers so terrible in comparison? Gibson killed it. Kai Briscoe, the freshman wide receiver, had 19 touchdowns and almost 1,300 yards. Defensively, they got 20.5 sacks by Sincere Edwards. Sincerely, what? Man, something's going on. Why am I... Hey, I don't care. We're going to be the ugliest, least attractive football team to ever win a national championship. Looking at the tail of the tape here, I mean, huge advantage, Florida Gators. And then with the amount of investments that we've had the last 2 transports, we've spent the GDP of freaking Argentina, right? It's time to cash in. That's what it's all for, the national championship. We will be playing the moments here as they come in to take part, be a part of a perfect, undefeated, national championship winning Florida Gators season. Oh, the speed Abrams. Oh, that got to be an easy grab. Come on, separation was there. Throws. It's going to be our job to make sure that we can connect on them. Oh my God, diving grab. Come on, you're like a 99. We got to go for it. We got another mesh. I love the mesh. This one here, we have 99 Hudson going in motion. Need to make a connection here. We're going to be aggressive. That's garbage, dude. That is garbage. You have got to catch that. We got Miami going for it. They don't get nothing, so we're able to come in here on 3rd down, inches, keep the drive going. I mean, at least the defense bailed us out, but that has, I mean, And again, like, dude, this could be the game. Like, we're not gonna get one guy make a play. Not one guy's gonna make a block. Get to the tight end. Oh yeah, shout out to him. Actually held on to it. This levels out. Remember, man, Woods is not a true dual threat. We need to try our best to stand in the pocket, make good reads. Got a little separation on the wide out going across the body, but we had enough separation. Touchdown, tied up. We needed that. Great response, just enough time to ensure that we go into halftime tied at 7, and it is the transfer portal #1 player, Micah Hudson, making himself known here in the national championship. Boom, screen, blocking, got depleted. Probably should have got, I mean, there's a little more meat left on the bone there.
Moves out of the pocket, looking to the end zone.
The question is, do we go for it and kick the points?
But what was the quarterback thinking here? You're inside the 10-yard line. You got a chance to put.
Let's find out firsthand if they've changed the field goal. What better time than in the Natty to see if they did anything to the field goal.
Decides to trot out the field goal team.
Man.
So it'll be a chip shot from the right hash mark.
Same. Clutch. Got to lead. Got to trust the defense. Times like that. I love to be aggressive. Want to continue to stay aggressive, but you got to trust that our defense. Here we go. We got time here. Hop in. 3rd down. He's gonna be able to bend, don't break. Goal to go. We got to get the stop the same way that they just did. Let's go, McCray. LJ McCray. He's been our best pass rusher this whole rebuild. And it's good knowing that they also dropped the ball. Great stand by the defense. 10-10. Everything to play for in the 4th quarter. Where it's coming in here on 3rd and 3.
3rd down play coming up. To try a field goal from here, it will be 62 yards.
We got Mizell B. We want the quick throw. Shot play to Hudson's also, but Mizell has like 98 speed. I don't think they have anyone on their defense that can hang with him. Look at that. Look at that separation. Instant separation. Great throw. Lose my moments, so we have to wait, burn it. Now it's 3rd and 9. That's terrible. Come on, man. Keep me in. Don't take me out, coach.
2 for 2 on 3rd down, but it's 3rd down and 9 here. Dropping back. We're going to throw for the 1st down. On the run here. Let's go. Oh, and it's
Not a bad throw, but the quarterback footwork, like that's just, you gotta eat that one, throw it away. That is going to be very costly. Oh, we get a, hey, defensive stop. Can I make amends? 3:30 to go win it. One terrible call that we knew was terrible has stopped this drive in its tracks. Get some of that yardage back here. Cheesily, I mean, it's long field goal range. Yeah, let's just make sure this is last drive and/or put our defense in a good spot to take this to overtime. What we got here? We got Jackson. Once upon a time was the best tight end in college football, and then we just immediately stopped using him. And of course, it's going to make me decide. Points or go for it. I think points.
Great effort here by this defense.
Kick it here. 79 though. You gotta go. I can trust my defense with like a minute to go. Brown. We got the mesh that has not worked at any point so far. We just need to work once. Just nothing. Completely shut down. We forced the punt return. What's the point of 99s? Get them to play like 99s. 99s make people that aren't great at the game feel good for a second that they're halfway decent. There we go. Finally, something a little bit easy. First and goal with this. In motion, Hudson. I swear he's a 99 overall. Like, I don't think he's been open all day. Can we trust him right here to make a play? And he does. As soon as we roast him a little bit. Second touchdown of the game.
2-point conversion.
Jackson. Hudson. Go back to Hudson again if we need to. Does not win at all. We got double. I mean, there's just nothing there. Defense needs to stop. I'm sure I'm going to get it. So much faith.
So pressure on this offense.
Got to believe.
Answer with a touchdown.
Walker's our best player on the D-line.
Looking to throw it on first down. Looking to scramble.
I love it. That's excellent defensive play right there. Excellent. Just no one get off their blocks and just kind of like look busy but not actually do anything, and then let the quarterback get the easiest free yards that he's ever going to get. And then we're actually going to have a wide receiver.
Touchdown, Hurricanes. And the answer in overtime.
Love this call here to be.
They got to go for 2.
Touchdown here in the second overtime. It works. Nice touchdown. And now
Why?
remember, you can't kick the extra point. The rule is you have to go.
Come on, keep it going. Surprise me. Oh, okay. Okay.
The defense makes a stand. They stop
No
it,
fit.
and now we're headed
Why?
to triple overtime.
Come on, fellas. 3rd overtime, national championship. They got to go for 2.
Dueling two-point conversions from here on out to decide this game. Enormous pressure.
Where are they possibly going to go?
To throw, it's Williams.
They go short. Okay.
It's not short. They cannot
Come on.
execute the
I know we got to run. If you've been around my channel for any time, I am not vibing with our passing offense, okay? I haven't ran this play yet. But there's one play
They get the
that is going to give us our first national championship in a rebuild.
to win
It is the C4 special. The toss to the left. Let's get our blocks, fellas.
muscle toward the
Toss to the left. And the Florida Gators C4 special. Our national champions. Oh, let's go.
You know, these dueling
I think it's more impressive I got through that without swearing.
results. And man, how lucky are we to be here to see one
Let's
of
go,
them today.
baby. Oh, that's
team standing at the top of the mountain.
chef kiss. Perfect way to cash in our first rebound. Well, we're just going to embrace and celebrating. Please, again, as I reminded at the very beginning of the video, this first rebuild, because got a very limited period to record a rebuild. If I went with a smaller school team, I probably wouldn't have had time to get my other content out. Let me know in the comment section below who you want to see as our first kind of
That's going to do it as we crown
real rebuild in college football. 26 in the comment section below. Any team is on limits.
for Kirk Herbstreit and our entire crew behind the scenes. I'm Chris Fowler, and this
Somehow Woods gets player of the game.
Sports College Football. They are official, your kings of college football and national champions, the Florida Gators.
Awesome. And a perfect way to wrap up the rebuild. National champions. Florida freaking Gators. 3 years. I'm not gonna say it was easier than expected, but there's probably gonna be something different. I bet you anybody else that's recording some of these rebuilds, they ain't going with a team that's gonna be able to show you the side of rebuilds. This ability to challenge in the transport the way they did. The ability to feel the disgust of not being able to keep DJ Lagway no matter what we did. I'm going to remember for the entirety of the game cycle of College Football 26, doing everything to get DJ Lagway for that goal that I was told, 279 yards. And then they just move it to actually we want 310. I'm hitting the portal. I'm never going to trust any of these deal breakers ever again. All right, lesson learned there. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We are going into year 15 here on Football YouTube, so why not this year, finally, for old C4, put it all together, get a little momentum behind the channel, strap the rocket. We are going to the absolute moon, and I appreciate each and every new player that comes and enjoys the content and hits that subscribe button. I appreciate all the OGs that have been supporting and rocking with me over the last couple of years. I very much appreciate all the love and support. Hit that like button and comment to help my channel with the YouTube robots. More importantly, in the comments, let me know which team you want to see next rebuilt in College Football 26. And that'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out, love ya. Have a good one.